I'm really excited about this course, and I'm going to start by telling you why I'm so excited about it, and then what I really want to offer, what I hope people get out of it. So the first thing is that I really just love teaching this stuff. This is, to me, the most interesting stuff in the world. I know that when you get into like Buddhism or these other traditions, it can be overwhelming, it can be confusing, and I just love to make this stuff accessible. I love to show people what's really at the heart of these traditions. There's just so much wisdom and so much insight to be garnered from these traditions, and I just love to share that. One of my favorite teachers, Krishnamurti, said that if you want there to be peace in the world, you have to create peace within yourself. Because if you have conflict within yourself, whenever you act in the world, you are putting that energy, that conflict out into the world. In a very simple way, it's like if we don't feel good, if we feel restless and we go into a group and we bring that energy, that's going to impact them. Whereas if we come with a sense of inner peace or joy or compassion, that's really going to impact the group differently. And so if we want to make change in this world, if we want there to be more peace in this world, the first thing we should do is work to cultivate more peace within ourselves. And then we can act from that place and our impact can be so much greater. I really believe that. I really see it as true. And to me, that's one of the most important reasons that we can do these practices. Not just because we, want more inner peace for obvious reasons, but also so we can bring that peace out into our relationships, into the world in general. Another thing is these practices just bring about a sense of wholeness, a sense that everything is just okay the way it is. And there's such a relief in that. The next thing is the community aspect. I've done courses in the past, but this time I have this platform where we can all share our experiences and discuss between sessions. It's kind of lonely exploring these things by yourself, and they're not really meant to be done alone anyways. In Buddhism, one of the three jewels, one of the core kind of aspects of it, the supporting aspect, is the Sangha, is the community. And the reality is we can go so much further together. That with the support and the accountability and just the companionship we get from one another can really support our practices and our development and just our journey in general. And then getting right into it, I designed this course in a way that I feel emphasizes the most interesting and most effective practices and philosophies around meditation and mindfulness practice. These are really the core technologies of transformation that we have from the Eastern kind of India, Asian traditions. We're starting off with the foundational Shamatha meditation, which is really about cultivating peace, cultivating relaxed focus. And the reality here is that different practices work for different people. So we're going to explore a few of these like home-based grounding practices, different places we can learn to rest our attention to find peace and ease. But then we're going to explore one that I love, which is cultivating good feelings and using good feelings as a positive feedback loop to cultivate concentration and relaxed focus. So yes, we can cultivate good feelings and then sink into those good feelings. And that creates a positive feedback loop where we get distracted less and less because we realize it feels good to focus on these things. So if there is a hack around concentration, this is it. It doesn't work great for everyone, especially if you're starting out, but it really can, and especially when practiced together. So I'm really looking forward to practicing this in a group. The next module is Vipassana, which is my bread and butter. This is really the core of what I teach and practice. It gets to the heart of what transformation is, how transformation can happen, and it's very direct. We are essentially deconstructing our experience, better watching and seeing our mind and body and how they interact with each other and with our environment. And this just creates more insight, which leads to change, more clarity, which is just amazing in life. You get to focus on what's important and learn to not attach to the things that aren't important. And it creates more spaciousness, more freedom, more of a feeling of things just being okay as they are and not really needing anything in particular, which is the real freedom, which gives more choice. When you don't need things so badly, you're more free to choose what is actually best for you. So Vipassana is an amazing practice. I can't say enough good things about it. There are so many different ways to practice. There are many great teachers who have come along who have offered different ways in. And so we're going to explore at least three in kind of relative depth. And I'm going to present some like very beginner, simple Vipassana practices, and then we can build up to more complex or more inclusive or more, full pictured Vipassana practices. So we're going to explore a few different meditation techniques, but also mindfulness techniques we can bring into our everyday life that we can practice anytime, anywhere, which is really how the transformation really takes hold. When your mindfulness practice leaves the cushion and enters your day-to-day life, that's where you see the very big transformations happen. And then the next category is Tantra. And Tantra is often confused with sex. That is definitely part of it, and we're going to explore that a little bit, but we're going to stay more true to the philosophy of Tantra, what it actually is, what it started as, and how it shows up in both Hindu traditions and in Buddhist traditions, specifically Vajrayana Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, which I did study formally when I was younger, and I continue to explore. So the tantric practices is using your imagination, using the energy in your body, the energy that you can cultivate through various different practices to awaken. It's using these things to bridge your reality to a better reality, or to the person you want to be. So for example, a very simple tantric practice is just imagining who you want to be, how you want to feel in the world, and really feeling into that. Really imagining yourself being that person, imagining what it would feel like to be that person, and just sitting with that. And that helps bridge that reality. It helps you actually get there. It lays the kind of blueprint or the framework for that energy to come and for you to actually become that person. In essence, that's what the tantric practices are, although they show up in very different ways, and there are many different ways to explore this. And there are many other practices that really support this type of practice. So using breath work to cultivate energy, using visualization, imagination to cultivate, move energy, all of these things, very helpful. And Tantra is just such a direct way of making change immediately, being like, okay, this is how I am, but this is how I want to be, and learning to step into how you want to be. It is so direct. That's why I love it. I do it all the time. And then finally, non-dual or direct path. And this, kind of comes from Advaita Vedanta, although it shows up in many traditions. In Tibetan Buddhism, it shows up as Dzogchen and Mahamudra. We're going to explore a lot of these practices. We're going to explore contemporary teachers as well as traditional teachers. I love this one. This one's one of the most interesting and fun ones to explore, and it really, brings a lot of clarity, and it also is really fun to discuss because we're really looking at reality from different perspectives, and that changes things. It's amazing we don't realize how we're often looking at things from a very similar perspective. And when we consciously and intentionally change the way in which we see things, when we see things from a different perspective, that can change our world. That can change how we see everything. And that can offer profound relief. And there's so much there, so much to explore, and so many benefits that can come from it. And all in all, I'm trying to make this really fun, exploratory, engaging. There is a suggested tuition, but it is pay what you can. And I really implore you to join at whatever price works for you, because it is going to be fun. And I do love sharing this stuff, and I do want to explore with you. So please check out the course. If you have any questions, send them to me. And I really, truly hope to see you there.